And just when all hope seemed lost, message of a new discovery drew us to an unknown planet called Earth.
Place the left thumb, completed in the previous issue, into thumb joint 104E, as in the close-up image, matching the holes of both pieces, and connect them with pin 104F. Place the 4 fingers assembled in issue 103 on the posts inside the back of the hand 104A. And secure them with PP screws. Next, place the thumb assembly on the inside of 104A so that the thumb joint rests on the 2 curved profiles. Place the lower right palm 104B on the inside face of the back of the hand 104A. And secure it with 3 PP screws. Affix the upper right palm 104C by pushing the pins into place in the holes in the lower right palm 104B. Snap the right palm detail 104D into the large hole indicated by the arrow on the lower right palm 104B. Fix the sight to the assembly with 2 PP screws. Place the core Nexus 105G inside the large power reservoir R105H. And fix with an IP screw. Add the large power reservoir L105E and the cover 105J. Push the sight cylinder 105D into the sight 105B. Fit the left cover 105N into the central blaster body 99B. Insert the center blaster core body 105C inside 99B, as shown. And fix with an IP screw. Fit the body lower cover 105L. The body half cylinder 105M. And the cylinder cap 105O onto the core body 105C, as shown. Insert the previous step into the slots of the assembly from step 1, as illustrated. And secure the parts with an IP screw. Fit step 1 from issue 99 on the flat side, as shown. Fix with 2 MP screws. Join the two halves of the small power reservoir 105I and 105F. And add the cap 105K, which only fits in one position. Fix the small power reservoir inside 105A with an IP screw. Fix step 105-6 to the rest of the assembly. Fit the wrist joint 106F into the end of the outer forearm 106A. On the outside, fix the gun anchor 106B with the opening towards the wrist. Secure 106F and 106B with 2 IP screws in each. Insert the elbow nut 106J into the hole of the elbow bracket 106C. Inside the hemispherical end of the outer forearm 106A, place a ribbed disc 106H with the ribs facing upwards. Onto this, place a ribbed disc 106I with the ribs facing downwards. Ensure that the tabs on both discs fit into the notch in 106A. Next, place the elbow 106G over the discs, oriented as shown. Over the circular hole, place another disc 106I with the ribs facing upwards and, on top of this, another disc 106H with the ribbed side downwards, facing the previous disc. Connect the inner forearm 106D to the outer forearm 106A, enclosing the ribbed discs and the elbow. Place the assembly from step 2 on the inner forearm 106D so that the nut bracket rests in the recess on the outside of the ball joint, and the angle of the bracket is aligned with the elbow. Place a spring washer 106L and washer 106K onto the bolt 106M. And tighten it, a little for now, from the opposite side with the socket wrench 44M from issue 44. Check that the elbow marked in blue can move, it will click and will offer some resistance, then proceed to finish tightening the bolt 106M. Fix the two halves of the forearm together with 2 IP screws. Fit the wrist cover 106E onto the end of the forearm as shown, guiding the 2 posts on 106E into the grooves in the forearm until it is fixed in position. Snap the ball on the wrist joint into the wrist socket of the right hand that was assembled in issue 104. Snap the arm outer side 107C onto the arm's central frame 107A. On the other side of the central frame 107A, press fit the arm inner side 107B. Then, Fix the pieces together with 4 pp screws, being careful not to over-tighten the screws. Snap the two arm details 107D into the holes shown, through the edges of parts 107B and 107C. Fit the outer elbow cover 108E on the outside of the elbow, and the inner elbow cover 108F on the inside. Retrieve the discs 107E from the previous issue. Place one on each side of the elbow with the grooves showing. Fit the arm from step 2 into the forearm elbow joint from step 1, as shown, left. Place the nut 108L in the hexagonal recess in the elbow. Next, place a lock washer 108N and a washer 108M over the bolt 108K and insert it into the hole of the elbow. Tighten it with the socket wrench 44M until it is fairly tight. Place the L-shaped end of the arm bracket 108G in the hole shown, and tilt the other end to align its holes with the holes in the arm. Thread the elbow lock pin 108H through the holes, with the smooth end first. Fit the arm back plate 108A to the back of the arm with the two pins in the hexagonal holes. Fit inner rear rod 108J inside and outer rear rod 108I outside, as shown. They will only fit in one position. Fix with 2 AP screws. Fit the pins of the outer pipe detail 108D into the hexagonal holes on the outside of the arm. Fit the pins of inner arm plate 108C into the holes on the inside. Note the orientation of both pieces. Position the wires 108O, 108P, and 108Q, snapping their ends into the holes indicated in the picture. Carefully observe the orientation of the wires. Push the pins of the disc 108B into the outside of the elbow. It will fit in one orientation only. Fit the elbow plate 109E onto the tab indicated in the elbow joint. With the holes in both pieces aligned. Push the pin 109H through the holes. Then, push the elbow ring 109F onto the inner elbow bracket. Note the correct orientation. Fit the arm plate 109D onto the 3 pins on the front of the arm. Fit the arm ball joint 109G over the end of the arm coil 109A. And fix the parts together with the Y-P screw. Snap the arm ball joint 109G into the upper part of the outer side of the arm, as shown. Place the arm outer disc 109B onto the circular section of the arm coil, aligning the inner notch of the disc with the post on 109A. See detail. Fix 109B in place with the KP screw. Then press the arm outer disc cover 109C into position, as shown.